This material is a compendium of knowledge about external wallets such as Ledger and Trezor, discussed further in the course. I will provide you with the most important information about them and answer the most frequently asked questions so that when the day comes for you to use them, there are no doubts. External wallets are devices similar to USB drives designed to secure our cryptocurrencies and other blockchain-based assets. To use them, we should start by placing an order solely through the official manufacturer's store, bypassing all intermediaries and used devices. After receiving the device, the installation and configuration process should be carried out step by step as discussed in separate recordings. Subsequently, we can use the device to approve transactions by connecting it to the computer each time. Each of the devices can be synchronized with another hot wallet, such as MetaMask, at any time, as presented in the recordings on handling cold wallets in the later part of the course. In this solution, the cold wallet serves as an additional layer isolating our cryptocurrencies from the external world, requiring physical, manual confirmation before taking any action. Using this additional layer does not generate any additional fees or slow down our transfers, but it certainly requires a bit of our time to connect everything, enter the PIN, and read all the information displayed on the screen. We, as users, can transfer all our funds to any other location at any time because only we have control over them. Now let's move on to the most frequently asked questions, and in the end, I'll tell you what's next to fully exhaust this topic. This will provide you with a clearer understanding of how they operate. The first question is, are my cryptocurrencies stored on the device? No, your cryptocurrencies are not stored directly on the device. Cryptocurrency doesn't work like files on a USB drive. The device's sole purpose is to provide access to your funds. The funds themselves are stored on the blockchain. Does the device need to be connected to the computer? No, the device doesn't need to be connected to the computer during storage and receipt of funds. We only connect the device when we want to initiate an outgoing transaction from that wallet to another. What happens if I lose the device? In reality, losing the wallet device doesn't mean losing your funds. As long as we have our seed phrase, consisting of 12 or 24 login words, we can regain access on an entirely new device, fully restoring control over our portfolio. The problem arises only when you lose both the device and the seed key. That's when the funds disappear, and there's no way to recover them. What if the manufacturer goes bankrupt or closes the company? In this case, you also don't need to worry about your cryptocurrencies. As mentioned earlier, the device itself is just an additional layer of security for your funds, which are stored on the blockchain, and the manufacturer has no connection to your assets. In such a situation, the device will still function, and if you wish, you can, for your own comfort, transfer your funds to another location or switch to a wallet from a different company. Can I connect two devices to one seed phrase? Absolutely, it is very much possible. For instance, if you frequently find yourself in two different locations where you use cryptocurrencies and prefer not to carry your wallet with you all the time, you can configure two identical devices that will grant access to the same account. Can I see my balance on my device screen? At the moment, all devices currently produced don't have internet access. If you want to check your account balance, you can do so using the manufacturer's dedicated applications or by pasting your public address into one of the blockchain explorers. This will provide you with a comprehensive list of all the coins associated with the specified address. Can I run an existing hot wallet on an external cold wallet? If you already have a browser wallet, such as MetaMask, you can securely connect your cold wallet to MetaMask following instructions provided in a separate recording. MetaMask generates a new address and profile where you can transfer funds, but the reverse situation, opening MetaMask accounts in a Ledger or Trezor app, should be avoided. If you open such a hot wallet account by entering your seed during the Ledger or Trezor account recovery, the device loses its full security. The key is never to input our seeds anywhere other than on the cold wallet screen. When should I buy a cold wallet? There's no hard and fast rule for when you should do this, but if you view cryptocurrencies as a long-term investment, I recommend doing it right from the start. This provides an excellent level of security, especially considering that the cost of a basic version of such a device, which is entirely sufficient, is quite low. What happens to my funds if an exchange collapses? The collapse of a major exchange typically leads to cryptocurrency valuation declines, and often projects experience rapid losses in value for a period. However, concerning the actual funds, all those held in external wallets remain secure, and we can fully manage them as we see fit. The exception here is exchange tokens. If you hold the token of an exchange that has collapsed in your wallet, you probably won't be able to recover the value of that coin from before the collapse. Historically, in such cases, tokens issued by an exchange that subsequently failed became virtually worthless, or their value was greatly diminished. The same fate applies to the price of any other token that experiences a collapse, because merely storing funds in an external wallet doesn't guarantee the stability of their value, which is always subject to fluctuations. Do I have to pay taxes if I keep cryptocurrencies in a cold wallet? In this matter, it's best to consult with a tax advisor, as I am not one. It all depends on the country you reside in. Some may have quite specific and less friendly regulations, and you should always check this on your own. However, in most countries, there is no tax in such a case. Can I stake using a cold wallet? Yes, many ecosystems offer this option, and some may require additional applications. It depends on the specific project you're interested in. When delegating tokens for staking, it's crucial to pay attention to the permissions granted to the delegate. Are my funds entirely secure if I keep them on a cold wallet? Here, two aspects are worth noting. Firstly, when connecting your wallet to other websites and applications, if you make a mistake and grant access to an untrustworthy or scam site, your funds may no longer be secure. If you want to use such sites but aren't sure about their trustworthiness, it's best to connect a wallet with minimal or no funds, keeping your main funds safely untouched in a separate profile. The second aspect is, as long as you safeguard your seed phrase and never disclose it or store it on your computer, everything is okay. Adhering to these two main principles, your funds are technically secure, and the only risk involved always relates to our own behavior. Additional information about wallets can be found in the recordings related to installation and usage, as well as in the material about passwords and the seed phrase. I try to avoid repeating certain issues multiple times, although it's not always possible since I realize that some of you will only see certain recordings. If you have any more questions that you haven't found answers to in this or any other material, feel free to ask me in a private message on Udemy.